I don't.
And Ryan Pomprion, the same thing happened to him.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that Christian's lost it. I mean, Ryan was a totally different story. His kind of those rolled back. You know, that was such a different deal. It's a little bit almost like Chuck Knobloch not being able to throw over the first anymore. But no, Christian's a guy that we know what he can do, who he is. I know that he's still working at his craft, and just because you're not here doesn't mean that I've forgotten about you. We'll keep tabs on everything.
I know you're a big fan of the new extra point rule. You know, how much input do you anticipate having in those late game decisions now that just puts another thing on Coach Pett's plate as far as, you know, whether or not to kick it or go for two?
Well, I think there'll be a lot of other factors that go into it. Obviously, we always discuss those things before the game, and then we discuss them again at halftime. And I don't think it'll be any different. I just think that you'll just see teams that'll be going all out blocks, going after it more, and the pressure to make the kick will be obviously heightened.
Is Duke Johnson in the mix at punt returner?
Not as punt returner, but kick returner. He's developing as a punt returner. He is a kick returner, and but we're trying to work at him to be both. It's kind of like the Taylor Gabriel type deal.
What can you say about Andy Lee? I mean, what does he give you that maybe you haven't had before?
Well, he's a 4-time Pro Bowler. You know, obviously this will be his 12th season, so obviously he has the experience and he's played in a lot of big games. He has a big leg. I know he's showcased that a few times, but he, you know, right now he's just in the process of getting back. Lots of times when guys are going into their 12th or 13th year, they don't start as early as kicking as maybe some of the young guys. So he's just now beginning to work himself back into shape, and then as we go through preseason, it'll be a deal where obviously we don't need him to hit to be perfect for preseason game number 1. We just need to build it up so that he's ready to go when we play the Jets.
It looks like now without Lanning that your place kicker's got to be deep on kickoffs too. So that's one of the requirements.
Well, I think there's a lot of factors. I have confidence in the guys that'll go down and cover. It'll just depend. We're still going to play to the strength of that player. But if he's not as deep as, let's say, a Billy Cunda. Billy had, before we let him go, I think 40 touchbacks. You know, we might not hit that number. So if we don't, you know, hang time, and maybe it doesn't go as far, but if it's at 6 or 7 deep with, you know, a 4-1 hang, that'll still put the return man in a bind. Do I bring it out because the guys running down have the ability to cover? So we'll play to whatever the strength of the player is and design it around that.
Everybody good?
Thanks, everybody. Have a great summer, guys.